Hey everybody, it's Josh with Talk About Trek, and we're back with some DS9 goodness. I've started my DS9 trip with number one, of course, the novelization of the pilot episode, The Emissary. So, had a great time reading this. Spent maybe about the past 8 or 9 days in it. Chewed it apart in the process, but that's what happens with these books. Why am I not in the middle? Oh, whoa! Hold on. We're going to get there in the end, everybody. Look at that. There we are. That's much better. And look, I didn't even have time to fix my camera. It's all wacky over here and over there. I wanted to fix the overlay and fix all that, but there was no time. It's been a crazy, hectic week. I actually finished this book 2 nights ago, and then I went and watched the episode again yesterday and just finished it up today. And now finally have a chance to sit down and talk with all you fine folks about the novelization of the Emissary. So, or Emissary, I should say. I wrote the Emissary. It's just Emissary. But it's been over 25 years since the original Star Trek television series debuted on network television. And today, the universe first seen in that show is more popular than ever. Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country, was a huge box office hit, and Star Trek The Next Generation is now entering its sixth incredible season as the most popular hour of syndicated entertainment on television. You got that right. Now comes Deep Space Nine, a thrilling new addition to the Star Trek universe, commanded by an embittered Starfleet officer and populated by a myriad of exotic aliens. The mysterious space station known as Deep Space Nine hovers on the edge of a wormhole, a doorway that leads to the galaxy's furthest reaches and beyond. Alright, we all know Deep Space Nine. I mean, if you're watching this channel at this point, you're familiar with Deep Space Nine, and you've probably seen The Emissary. I would hope at least a few times, right? Because it's just, I think, a very well done pilot. Very interesting, different, and I think a lot of people were like, kind of maybe put off by how different it was from, the Next Generation and the original series. But man, I loved it. Just this whole idea of this station at the edge of the wormhole. The Bajorans coming out of their occupation with the Cardassians. There's so many interesting little story threads and things that that they're starting right here, and just very well done. Written, of course, by JM Dillard, and so let's have a look here at some of the other works here. See, I'm not even fully prepared, and we're just going to go right here. Okay, we'll go to the fan page here. I knew she's written a lot more. Of course, it's Jean Dillard, and then yes, she's done so many different novelizations. So, Final Frontier, Undiscovered Country, and I know I've read Generations, First Contact, probably when I was a kid. So she's got a definitely good history of this, and then wrote quite a few. Let's see, did I read quite a few other? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9 other books here. And one of the ones I definitely want to get into soon will be The Lost Years. So, she's a tremendous author, and I like anytime someone does one of these novelizations, of course, especially when it's the novelization of the pilot, they're basing it on, barely having seen anything. So I think she was going on pretty much the photos, like cast photos at that point, and then like the script and like character bios and that kind of information. And with that, I think that she was able to really kind of, do a great job of making these characters feel like the characters that I knew, even though she was writing them just based on just what she's reading, And there were some interesting things that obviously they fixed, I think, when the show started. In here, she refers to O'Brien, I think it's Ensign a lot. And of course, he's never called Ensign O'Brien. It's always Chief O'Brien, right? And one of the great things that you get with a novelization of one of these episodes, of course, is you get the story, and they follow it beat for beat, of course, because they're not going to go off that. But then you always get the little bit of extras thrown in. You get to see what Cisco is thinking at this point, what Jake is thinking. Um, and interestingly enough, in this one, there's some things added that I wonder if they were written into the script for the episode and then maybe cut for time, something like that. Uh, because they, or were they added to the book to make the book longer? So I'm kind of thinking maybe it was the first option, that these were scenes that maybe they had, or they had thought they wanted to do, but then to fit it into the 90 minutes, they had to cut it for the episode. So, all right, so I guess we can just kind of jump right into it. It's not the typical book talk, obviously, since it's one that obviously most people know the story already. I will point out that we were able to use this fantastic Kira Nerys bookmark with the tassel still fully intact for this read, which was wonderful. And I made sure to keep that safe, but the book did take a little bit of a beating. But I guess since we're talking about the novelization of an episode, I don't have to get into the full story too much like I normally do. But we can kind of talk about the things that this brought to it that, you're not going to get just from watching the episode. And for me, it was, first off, just getting the inside thought. And the book starts out with on the Saratoga, of course, just like the show. And you're getting all of this inside, thoughts and everything that's going on in Ben Sisko's mind as he's going through this tragedy, as he's trying to save his wife, as he's trying to, he's getting hauled out of there, getting dragged out. And again, after watching the episode again, Avery Brooks just kills it, man. He's so good. So good. I really enjoy watching his acting. So, but again, you're getting these inside thoughts. What's he thinking? What's going on in his head during that? And also just his whole sense of maybe not even wanting to be in Starfleet anymore. Kind of, you pick that up a little bit in the episode, but it's really kind of played more throughout the book. You can kind of feel that he's at a tipping point. Which way is he going to go? What's he going to do? So I love getting all those extra little inside bits and pieces to kind of, just add to what we already know. So, and then, of course, when you get to the station, you get your introductions with everybody, and that's great, too. You're getting, you're adding to what you've already seen and what you already know. So you're getting to, instead of just seeing these two characters' interactions, you're getting to see what Miles O'Brien was actually thinking about when he first met, Kira. And then later on, how his opinion changed, So that's why you read these novelizations. That's why you go back, even though you know the story, And then with this one, they do add at least two, I would say, pretty sure 2 points that just completely aren't even in the episode, which may have been just written out for time. But they go into further with Keiko and Molly, who aren't in the episode at all, I don't think. And then Jake meets Nog in the book as well, and they kind of get into their own little kind of bit of shenanigans. So, and I guess they probably push that off until like further episodes for that. So, but that was kind of cool, getting those little bits in there, and it's almost so like I don't think it contradicts too much anything story wise. It's just additional little bits, little world building and character building, and just little bits of fun to throw in there. So, I guess reading the book, I kind of forgot a lot of really, I guess, what was going on in the Celestial Temple, all everything that kind of, the whole story that Sisko was working through, really played out more in the book for me, I guess, since I hadn't seen the episode in a while. But just his, I guess maybe when I was first watching it, and of course when I was a kid, it didn't quite hit as hard, but the fact that he was the prophets, the wormhole aliens, when they met up with him and they took him off the ship, trying to understand, human existence, and he's trying to explain existence, like a linear existence to people who are a race that doesn't understand time at all, So he's trying to do that and really struggling to understand why they don't understand, I guess. And then in the end, it finally comes around to him that, and they keep saying this, to him, but you exist here, indicating that he's still there on the Saratoga, getting pulled away from his dead wife, And he's like, I don't understand. But then he finally does get it that a part of him does still exist there because he can't give up on her. He can't give that memory up. So, and then like he kind of comes to understand that, perhaps his existence isn't quite as linear as he thinks. So just very interesting, very deep stuff, and a fun episode to watch. And then you get the book, which just takes that and then just adds all that to it. So you're getting so much extra built into that too. So, what else? Oh, the scene with Dax and Curzon, which is a very brief scene in the episode itself, that gets kind of fleshed out a little bit more, and just very interesting there how she kind of wrote the feeling of the symbiote leaving and the symbiote joining, and that was all very well done too. So she's, like I said, she knows how to write a novelization and knows how to write one very well. So I'm afraid I don't know how much more I will have to say about this. But, oh, yeah, the stuff that you don't see in the episode, the Jake and Nog adventure, kind of takes a big part for, like, the, I guess, more adventure for the end of the book. As the Cardassians are attacking the station, Jake and Nog actually rescue Rom, who's unnamed at that point. They just call him Nog's father. But they rescue him from the bar, which is on fire. So you have this nice little kind of action scene at the end where Jake is helping out to save his father, and it's, a very well done scene there. And then the other part, again, was with Keiko and Molly, again, and they were also kind of in trouble during that action sequence on the promenade. The Cardassians are attacking, there's a fire, they get separated. So, again, I don't know if it was written in to stretch out the book and to give the book a few more action sequences, or if it was stuff that was in the episode and then cut for time and then maybe moved down the line into a further episode. Hard telling. So let me review my notes, which were horrendous for this book. Absolutely. Very terrible notes. Well, I guess they're not that bad. I did almost get half a page of notes, but again, it's been a crazy 8 days, so it's kind of hard to keep up completely. Let's see. Oh, I think I covered all my bases. Getting people's first and second impressions of each other. The way Cisco impresses them with his actions. You get to hear their thoughts on that more, which is great, because at first they don't think much of him or Starfleet, but then, what he does, they're able to kind of bring that back around. Filling in the gaps for just everything that goes through his mind at Wolf 359. And, yeah, I think that's about it. Obviously, if you're a Deep Space Nine fan, you're going to want to read this, and then you're going to watch the episode again. It's just fun to do something like that anyway. This was, let me see. Like I said, it took me 8 days to finish, and I am going to continue right along with the Deep Space Nine. Just kind of feeling it right now, and also because the next one looks fantastic. Look at this. Peter David, The Siege. And I was reading a little bit here. I read the prologue of The Siege. No, not the prologue. The foreword, preface, I should say. But here in the preface it says, oh, the tone of this book, for those who like to be warned about such things, well, it gets kind of intense, actually. Cool, intense, right? So we're going to jump into the intensity of The Siege here right after this, actually. So stay tuned for that. I feel like I'm really low down here, right? I need to sit up a little bit taller in the next one. I've got to do some fixing of my video and, like, squeeze it in here, shrink it down. We'll do all that next time. The important thing is we got to sit down and talk about Emissary. Not the Emissary, Emissary. As always, live long and prosper, and we'll see you guys in the next one.